My name is Innocent Olichirza. I'm the CEO and founder at Cyber Technologies, where we are building digital ticketing systems for public transport in Africa. We are very inspired by the potential of how this industry can be transformed from being informal to a formal one. The name Kasaiba, I hope it sounds very inspiring.
The use of this technology far outweighs any other. It's digital. We can verify our purchases and know the sale and the transaction is legitimate. The platform also provides pre-negotiated fares, and you are assured of a ticket and safe travel. Let's modernize and adopt these new ways of life. It's more than a bus ticket, but more like an assurance that you are well organized.
The African continent is one of the areas in the whole world that is developing at an exponential speed. We know that our future cities will be very populous with large numbers of people coming in and out. So we also know that if we don't have the infrastructure in place and the tools, it will keep chaotic as it is now, because the manual processes can't handle the situation, especially in public transport.
Cyber has helped us reduce unnecessary jobs. There's less theft and we get monthly reports so we can see how well we are doing as a bus company. I encourage everyone to make a purchase this way. It just works well.
Big tech has been the reason why we can innovate largely. Yeah, we depend on infrastructure for Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, and Google, for example. There are a lot of things, especially for Amazon, who hosts our core ticketing and payment processing system, and Google, who give us the platforms to deliver the apps to external markets. Yeah, Android, for example, can't avoid it. Our product is web-based, Android-based, and we leverage Google's services in a lot of ways. Facebook, before it was shut down in Uganda, we used it to reach out to our potential customers. Interestingly is that we already been using AI for the past 7 months. So it's definitely very beneficial. We've seen direct benefits in making our processes a bit faster and visualizing data. We actually want to extend that AI to the common user that we serve. They may not realize that it's AI, but the next ticket you book in 3 months, the decision for how the process works for you will be optimized by AI. Africa is embedded in our ultimate vision.
Majority of the transport space is managed by, owned, operated by the youth. We have a lot of, if you look at from the border industry, all the way to taxis and buses, a lot of these businesses either employ youth or are owned by youth. And I think there's a big role that plays into job creation for the youth through one of these avenues, which is the transport sector. I see untapped opportunity, and I also see a lot of new players coming into the space. And so they would have fast mover advantage should they decide to come in. And that's something that nobody should take disadvantage of. You compare it to things like mobile money that in other countries was unheard of, but has been successful in a lot of East African countries. And so big tech should definitely take advantage of this space when they still can.
The good thing with what we do is that we serve all generations, from young to aged groups. The generation that is 80% of our country, for example, they are under 30 years. And the solutions we provide, they are already interfacing with them. They're already interfacing with the technologies that we use. They may not be aware, but we are leveraging big tech to deliver this solution to a large audience. And we think also some of the companies like Google and Microsoft have started coming to support the educational system, meaning they're tapping into young generation at an early stage. And that will promote even more innovations for the future.
What you're trying to do with the Africa Transformation Office with startups is to empower 10,000 startups over the next 5 years. We are looking at focus on B2B startups, startups that are born on the cloud. And you're looking at various industries. We're looking at fintech, health tech, ed tech, and also logistics. Just given the African continent in the way it is, getting the right solutions for logistics and opening up the borders, increasing trade and flow of goods and services becomes something of a big challenge, but a big opportunity for startups to actually look at.
Oh, okay. Should I look in the camera or should I look at you? My name is Desmond Connie. I'm the founder and CEO of Complete Pharma. What inspires me? So I think I work with a collective of diverse people with different energies, trying to solve the same problem. So it's very inspiring to see young people from multidisciplinary backgrounds applying their skills to solve a problem that is bigger than them. Complete Pharma is a digital marketplace platform that helps global commodity buyers to effectively build their supply chains and source for agricultural commodities directly from African farmers. Ghana in Africa needs our company because for a long time we've heard that Africa is the breadbasket of the world. Yet that saying hasn't been realized. And I think Complete Pharma is a company that allows us to realize that statement by being able to make African agriculture and supply chain more resilient and efficient to feed the world. And I believe in doing so, we are able to develop the continent, we are able to provide meaningful work to the youth, to farmers, and also bring some good hard currency back onto the continent as well. Tech in general has seen an uplift in Ghana, and I think what this big tech has been able to do is to build technologies that enable people to then build on top of those technologies. So I think you've seen different frameworks come up, we've seen different training courses come up because of that. And because of the job opportunities big tech creates, it's enabled people to pick up the skills. And you are beginning to see the effect of that in Ghana. I think 10 years from now, you'll be able to see more competitive talent that can compete globally. And also that's exciting because that also influences the solutions that come out of Africa and Ghana as a whole. Is you start seeing talents that are applying like the big data technologies, AI, machine learning technologies, to be able to solve big problems on the continent. So I think that has been the good influence that big tech has had in Ghana. So I would say in more indirect ways, we've been able to leverage on some technologies and framework and also use some of the systems that some of these big tech companies bring to be able to deploy our technology. And I think by nature of how technology is built, it's always built on top of other technology. So I think some of these have been very instrumental to what we've built. Our cloud architecture, for instance, is on Amazon AWS, and it's been something that has allowed us to really deploy robust solution, both across like rural communities and cities as well. So it's been a big indirect boost to us to build this solution. We've had AWS Activate, which is the server architecture that we deploy our solutions on. And also, I'd say training. I think a lot of our developers and engineers always upskill on some of the platforms that these big tech companies have done. So you have like developer hangouts, developer circles, or boot camps that helps upskill developers to be able to use the newest technologies that some of these companies come up with. And that in turn helps us to also deploy competitive solutions as well. So I'd like to mention those two, but there are other technologies that have been created through the use of AI as well. I think it's been And some big tech companies have made it easy for startups to be able to adopt technologies like AI, IoT into the solutions that they are building as well. So basically, AI, we employ a lot of AI in the solution that we build, and I think it really helps in making effective decisions for farmers by being able to carve or process different sources of data to then inform what they then need to do. It's something that really helps in how we deliver the service. So I think AI in general, and even as a business, the way we analyze our markets, the way we know how to target value chains of where farmers are, it really improves like the processes as well. And it leaves a lot of room for people to also be more creative because you take out the routine tasks that people would have to do, and people can then start thinking more creatively and strategically as well. So I think the presence of big tech in Africa really has helped us to develop our products in a sense that it's also allowed us to think wider in terms of how we can position our solution to farmers. We've been able to answer questions like how we use AI to optimize the yield of farmers, how we use IoT to be able to monitor and track the performance of farms in different locations as well. So it's really it's really helped us to build a more competitive product as well. I say the vision of Complete Farmer is like Amazon for African agriculture. So Complete Farmer wants to become that company that really creates a platform that really makes farmers accessible to the world. Whether you are a commodity trader, and whether you are a buyer, a processor, an FMCG, or a market woman, you should be able to, or even a family that needs food, you should be able to get the food and the raw materials you need from the Complete Farmer platform. And what we are doing is to build the infrastructure to enable this. So we are not just enabling farmers, we are building fulfillment centers, we are doing research in agronomy, and we are building a platform that really solves these key issues across the supply chain to realize that vision.